Good.
Good evening. Welcome to the Focus Daily Show. I'm your West Coast host, Mr. Floyd X, and you got your public relations / co-host Walt, and you got Mr. L Pooh. Let's get it. How y'all doing this evening?
Magnificent.
Yeah,
Good. Good.
loving life.
All right. Well, you know what we do every night. We get into the topics, the daily news, and we report on what's cracking. You know, myself and Mr. Walt, we was tasked with the task of doing our homework about Maxine Waters since he said some disparaging things about our sister last night.
Got
So
more too.
we'll,
Got
we'll, be,
more.
we'll be speaking on that a little bit later, but let's get into the news first. First thing I want to speak on, let's talk about the train derailment and the NTSB. They came out and spoke about it today. They said that train derailment was 100% preventable.
Damn.
They had three what they call them, like triggers or alarms to go off to warn the crew of the train, but none of them they was never alerted of the issue. So the report says that what happened is that the rail axle, the one of the rail axles reached up to like 200 or something degrees. It got extremely hot, and that's what caused the derailment. But it triggered three alarms, and nobody was notified as to where the standard procedure is for them to stop the train and resolve the issue. But that didn't happen
Yeah, the notification came afterwards.
afterwards. Okay, so yeah, so so they already put out there that the crew was not responsible for that incident. And so they're gonna get to the bottom of it and find out why it didn't work. Yep.
Damn.
Um, just like that. So this is the Focus Daily Show. You got anything to say on it, Walt? Yeah.
I'm not really too familiar with it. I know what happened. I seen it. I didn't. I'm just hearing that part of the
Okay.
story. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's touch on the rare blizzard. How y'all doing down there, Southern Cali?
You all right now?
freezing my ass off.
Yeah.
Word.
Coming in tomorrow for sure. This is when the real action's supposed to start.
Tomorrow?
Late tonight, early tomorrow morning.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Tomorrow, like this morning, I was leaving the house. I seen snowflakes. It was a few snowflakes this morning. So tomorrow it's about to go down. So if you got doggies, make sure they inside right now. Even I got my 4 months. They up in here. They in their little quarantined area.
Okay. Okay. I know out here we experiencing some of that because it held today for like 5 minutes. Hell was falling from the sky. I'm sitting there like, damn, that rain sound loud as hell.
Yeah.
I go outside, it's dropping pieces of ice and shit.
Yeah. We had that for about 2 minutes out here, actually, about around noon. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, y'all be careful out there, man. Yep. Be careful. So next up we can speak on y'all heard about DMX's daughter, son Sonova Hillman Jr. She's 10 years old, and she plans on creating a 4-part docu-series talking about fentanyl and drug overdose. So DMX's daughter started a GoFundMe to raise money to produce a documentary. So shout out to her.
That's right.
What is she alluding to that DMX passed because of that?
Well, what the report said, according to Yahoo.com, let me make sure. Oh, Yahoo.com, and I did also the Vibe. It says that she lost a cousin, an uncle, and an auntie, and they also put her father in there because he according to what she says, he died from a how do you call it, acute respiratory failure or something like a heart attack due to a drug overdose. That's how it was stated in the clip that I watched today.
Damn.
So she continued. She speaks on the DARE program and curriculum. I wish I had my audio. I could play what she said. But that's what they alluded to, that he died from a heart failure due to fentanyl overdose or drug overdose. So that's going to be
Did they
her.
get everything settled with his estate?
I haven't looked into that. I have no idea.
From what I heard, with all them kids they had, I think all the kids only gonna get like $500 each.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, I know real quick on that. You know, I went to a seminar, a home buyers program seminar yesterday, and they spoke about a trust and how a trust is better than a will, and that you have to have something in place for your children. So, I mean, I think that's something that everybody should look into as far as preparing. Even if you feel like you ain't got nothing, there's something that belongs to you. Excuse me, that you want to be able to pass on to your children or to your ears with no problem.
You ain't got no Vicks, nigga.
Yeah.
He over there in Vietnam.
Grown ass nigga with the sniffles. Hey, in other news,
Yeah, real talk.
it's over. It's over for R. Kelly.
Man.
He just got convicted. He's serving 30 years right now and got that final conviction from the feds in Chicago for 20 years.
Damn.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So he ain't never coming home, man. It's crazy. But it is what it is. I mean, he was convicted of a crime, found guilty. That's how the law works, you know. If he's not guilty, hopefully he wins an appeal if that's the case. But you know,
Yeah,
until then,
they need to prosecute some of them parents.
Okay.
Ain't no way in the world.
Not just
I'm
the
gonna leave
parents.
the room.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the room, and R. Kelly's in there with my daughter. Come
Right.
on now, he got a history that Cat's been hearing about.
Yep.
It's
And-
1994,
And
before
those enablers around him too.
that. Yes.
Those people around him that's been knowing that's been going on, because he wasn't alone. It was a conspiracy.
Real talk.
Ain't no way in the world you could tell me, hey, here, get this to that little girl over there, and I'm gonna go do it. So
Yeah.
she can call you later. Nah, bro.
That's crazy, man. That's
Yeah, ain't no way you gonna be going to McDonald's at 3:30 every day, you know, Monday through Friday, and you ain't thinking nothing wrong.
Right. They was ordering too many Happy Meals to that mansion, bro.
You know
Something
what
was
I'm
up.
saying? For real.
Yeah,
Too many Happy Meals.
that's crazy, man. But it is what it is, man. He gonna sit in jail for a minute. And save out
Yeah,
his
he's 50. What is he, 55 or 56?
56, yeah.
56. Okay. Yeah, I don't think he gonna make it out.
But I gotta say this. With this trash ass R&B out right now, we gonna miss my brother.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
They should at least just let him make music. Like Vibes Cartel been in jail since 2011. He putting out the most dancehall music ever, the best dancehall music ever.
Now,
Give
what is
R.
he?
Kelly a studio up in there.
What is he in jail for? Vibes Cartel.
Murder.
Okay.
I don't know, but they had a group called the Escorts that made albums from jail too, back in the 70s, I think it was, or early 80s. But yeah,
Never heard of him.
yeah, well, they made some music though, but they can let the man
X-Rated
make
did
some.
it. What CML did it.
Yep. I remember I saw a video. Easy E did it. We want Easy from jail.
Really?
You don't remember We Want Easy?
Oh yeah.
When he jumped through the screen on stage.
Yeah, he did that from jail. Bullshitting. But yeah, that's what it is. So you know, they still talking about the 19-year-old. I ain't even gonna say his name, but you know, the 19-year-old shooter in Florida that killed the 9-year-old girl, the news reporter, and the lady. They talking about him and how the all the news reporters, everybody that's covering it, was having like heartfelt emotions because they felt so attached that a journalist was murdered covering the story. I guess it's like he died in the line of duty, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you get out there to cover a story, and then the killer comes back. You just assume that it's all done. They was about to set up and do a report on this is where a crime took place, and the dude is still loose, and he just come back and shoot y'all. You know, that's crazy, man. That's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But you know,
I know they didn't see that one coming.
nah. So I know they understand the emotions of those reporters. So our condolences go out to all the families that lost somebody tragically to that situation.
And one more thing I want to add to that. I saw a news reporter saying that she was out there, reporting on the story and everything. But she said when the police packed up and when they left, they was like, it's time for us to go too.
Yeah, man.
Whoever that one was that got killed, they didn't. I guess they didn't leave. So you gotta be careful out here, man. For real though.
Real talk. Yep, that's what it is. So what else? What else we talking about? Didn't you have some news, Mr. Elpoo?
I was talking about that R. Kelly, but he just brought that up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you want to bring up Maxine Waters though?
Let's go. You owe Maxine Waters an apology.
Never.
Maxine Waters stands for black people, always stood for black people as far back as the Rodney King verdict. She stood with black people. How dare you come on here and call her an old fart? That's what you called her last night.
Yeah, she is an old fart. You know why?
Old fart.
She the most since Nancy Pelosi died, she's the most senior congresswoman of the 43rd district. She represents Inglewood, South Central LA, and she's been in office since 1991. This is over 40-some years of her doing her thing, right?
Yeah.
So, but now under her reign, homicide rate shot up over 53%. South LA has the highest poverty rate. 43% of residents living below poverty line. Homeless population over 40,000 people. Homeless rate increased over 264% since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad.
That's terrible.
So how much responsibility sits on her shoulder?
This is her district.
Okay, how much responsibility sits on her shoulder if she goes to Congress or House or wherever she goes to get the funds to help out with the cause? What's the responsibility of the mayor? Then you have the governor.
No, you ain't gonna wiggle out of this. Your turn.
All these parties involved.
What's her positives you got, brother?
Okay.
What's her positives?
Since
you ain't wiggling out of this one.
Ain't no wiggling happening here, brother. Ain't no wiggling happening over here. She's the only one. She is. I'm gonna start with this. Being a former member of the Nation of Islam, she's the only one out of the whole congressional black caucus that refused to denounce the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. When they all colluded, they met with Minister Farrakhan in privacy, and
what they got to do with the 43rd district?
No, what it got to do is that the Farrakhan. Denouncing Farrakhan was a litmus test to whether you get approved by the whites and the Jews. If you could denounce Farrakhan the same way they did Obama when he went into office, if you could denounce Farrakhan, you can proceed on. But if you don't, we're going to make it hard for you. But the thing that Congress Lady Maxine Waters has is that every election that she was in, the reason she's still there, because for the most part, she won all of her re-election runs by 70% or better. And that must be because the people that's behind her supports her and feel that she's doing a good job. Then why would she keep winning that 70%?
Her name. And
what does the name do?
Listen, it's the name. You remember the distinguished gentleman? The guy was dead and had the name to Eddie Murphy, and he just ran by the name, just don't see the face. You vote the familiar name when you see it on the paper. That's why
simple. That may be how you vote.
She does not debate her opponents. She did not debate Joe Collins. She did not debate Omar Navarro. Yeah, I done did my homework
you know
on
how
the
she
lady.
debate him? You know how she debate him?
How?
By showing the work. You debate him by doing the work. Long as you
What
doing
work,
the work,
Floyd? Floyd, all you talked about was
doing the work.
Farrakhan.
The example of doing the work is that the people support her. That's to show and prove. I'm not in her district, so I can't sit here and say she's doing a good or a bad job. The people that she represent decides if she's doing a good or bad job. And that's what
like you say, she's still there, so she must be doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And it's not just even if it's a name recognition, the name has to be good.
And black folks have like certain benchmarks or markers that can help us determine whether you truly for black folks or not. Like let's say, for example, Assata Shakur, who is currently in exile in Cuba. She was one of the people that sent an open letter to Fidel Castro to do not extradite Assata Shakur back to America so she could face trial, because she felt she knows the pulse of the conscious black community, that we feel that she was not guilty of killing a police officer. And anytime an election
wait. Okay, listen. I understand that part.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna wiggle your way out of this like my boy Nicholas trying to wiggle his way out of my arms.
Where's the wiggle? Ain't no wiggle.
You still ain't said nothing about the 43rd district.
What about it?
What has she done for the 43rd district that she represents? She don't even live in it.
So why do they keep re-electing her at a
where does she live?
Or better rate?
She live in a $4 million house that ain't there.
And we're in Hancock Park, right?
Yes. Okay. That ain't the 43rd district, brother.
Far from it.
Why is she winning at such a high rate? Because the people that's in that district are satisfied with whatever she is contributing.
Stop trying to wiggle out of here.
They satisfied with her. She's making a great contribution. That's why she been in office since what?
All you said was she got reelected and she supported Farrakhan.
Yeah, and Assata Shakur, and she opposed the coup in Haiti, and she publicly called George H.W. Bush a racist. She was Kanye before Kanye was existed.
Those are the points that black people love to hear, but you still ain't said nothing about the 43rd district.
I told you, I can't speak for the 43rd district. The district spoke for themselves by re-electing her. That's all I need to say. They spoke for her. They spoke for her. They re-elected her.
Come on, man. Her name is familiar. And she's been in there since 1991. I've been hearing about her forever.
That's for the voters to do. And they spoke. They spoke. Yeah. They've been speaking since the 90s.
It's time for the
waters there. So when you want to bring, excuse my interruption, but when you want to bring that young Republican that you was talking about yesterday, I don't care if he black or not. He ain't Maxine Waters. That's why he didn't win. That's why he didn't win. If he was,
that's all you got, dude.
Hey, that's all I need. Okay. All Maxine Waters need is the vote. She been there since the 90s, bro.
Yeah, that accounts for something. My boy Joe Collins didn't support Farrakhan, so that's why he lost. I ain't got nothing to do with the 43rd district. And guess what? He lives in the 43rd district. So does Omar Navarro. Come on, man.
What does he stand on something that's important? Give me one position of his. One.
He's about a homeless. He want to tackle that homeless problem and the violence in the gun shootings in his community that he lives in.
So he got a record that he did that.
That's what he's trying to do right now.
Oh, he's trying.
Yeah.
What year did they did he contest her
2020. I done did my homework, brother.
Okay. Well, I haven't heard of him. So
J-Walk came prepared tonight.
So apparently nobody believes in him because he ain't did nothing. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't got no record. Well, what position he hold right now? What position he hold?
He's trying to find a job because he didn't win.
I could do the same thing, bro. I could do the same thing. I'm just as ready. I got a whole 2-page full ready for it.
She right under. She now that Pelosi retired, she the first. Now she's the oldest. Yeah. It's time for her to go. We need some new blood. We need new blood. Who can handle the problems in your city better than someone who lives there? Or let's say me, I'm living way out here, but I'm trying to handle situations up there in the back. Come on, bro. You got to be in the community to help the community, my man.
Well, according to she is in the community.
She walked through and do photo ops.
If she wasn't in the community, Watts would not have named a center at her. The Maxine Waters Prep Center. Maxine Waters, not Waters, Waters. Maxine Waters Prep Center in the city of Watts. She got a whole center named after her. She must be doing something good or something where the people is stand behind her. That's
Watts happens to be part of her district too, though. So
yes.
So why I don't see no George W. Bush Prep District in that district. So apparently she's doing something right.
I ain't by bro. Come on now.
Something right.
Yeah. That's good.
She has visited she opposes mandatory minimum sentencing. You got to know where these okay, so you got to know where these politicians stand on something that means something to you.
Okay, well, what happened with her with Freeway Rick?
Okay, with Freeway Rick, she wanted to invest. She pushed for the investigation of the CIA. She the one that was pushing all the bills or whatever it took. And of course, the lying CIA and all the attorney generals, they all say, oh, we found no corruption. And remember, all of this happened before the Iran-Contra scandals went to the to that Congress hearing. So all that then nothing happened. And then again, remember what happened with the reporter, what's his name? Gary Webb? Jerry Webb or Gary Webb. They said they said he committed suicide. He was the first one to report that the CIA was selling crack cocaine in the black communities. He was the first one to report it, and he exposed it. He got shunned by the Mercury News right here in San Jose. They shunned him. He was ostracized, set aside, and then they said he committed suicide. Guess how they said he committed suicide? 2 shots to the head.
2 to the dome.
That was the report. The report said he committed suicide. 2 shots to the head.
As if one wasn't good enough.
Come on now. Come on.
Right.
2 shots to the head.
By itself.
That's blatant. That was nothing but a dog whistle to anybody that want to blow a whistle. That's all that was.
But what they had to do with Maxine Waters?
Thank you. I'm glad you asked.
Listen, did you hear what I just said? I just said it. I said that was a dog whistle to anybody that want to go against the CIA. 2 shots to the head. Suicide.
So that's really...
So it was a blatant lie that we could kill you right now.
The question is, just me playing devil's advocate, all that calling George Bush out and all that old good stuff, whatever she did, is that just a ploy, just show? Or is she really standing up for her peoples? I mean, writing an open letter to Castro don't mean shit. Castro don't give a fuck about the U.S.
Castro been dead for like...
It does mean something. I'm talking about when he was alive, dude.
Yeah, when he was alive, yeah. But he doesn't. I mean, he didn't care nothing about what the U.S. thought about. He wasn't even...
Not true.
She had already been over there for decades. I mean,
not true.
Huh?
Why, you gonna say Castro don't care nothing about black folks? Is that what you said?
I said the U.S. The U.S.
Okay.
The U.S. government.
But do you know that Castro was a friend of black people?
I didn't say that. No, I said the U.S. I didn't say black people. I said the U.S. government, bro.
What are you saying? Let me help. I'm trying to understand.
He wasn't gonna send a shot of secure back out here anyway. She was already out there for at least a decade and a half.
Okay, but the U.S. government does know how to twist and push and can force people's hands at times. They are capable of doing that.
They are, but they wasn't messing with Castro like that.
How do you know?
wait. Let's stick to Maxine, brother.
Because she's still out there.
Yeah. Okay.
And it wasn't because of Maxine Waters.
So you saying that what she did not help the situation?
I don't think so at all.
That's your opinion.
What she was saying was she was just sending him a hello letter, like just a little letter, like a card, like, hey, how you doing?
If you have a congresswoman writing an open public letter that's opposing,
It's
But
show.
listen,
What
it's a
happened?
big show.
What happened? What
Listen,
happened?
El
Okay,
Pooh,
so what
listen.
happened with Freeway Rick though? What happened?
I just told you, Gary Webb committed suicide.
But what did she
2
do?
shots to the head.
So when that happened, she said, "I ain't messing with you no more." I mean, I ain't that down for white
She
people.
did all she could do. She did all she could do. She called for an investigation for the CIA. Investigate. The CIA did an internal investigation. We found no wrongdoing. The Attorney General did an investigation. We found no wrongdoing, and they both lied. But nothing. What's going to happen? One person can only do so much.
And
then the whole listen, hold on, El Pooh, listen.
Yeah,
The whole Iran Contra scandal, it all came out.
Yeah,
that
true.
the CIA did in fact supply crack. All of it was found to be true.
You're 100% right.
And what happened to Ronald Reagan? What happened to Ronald Reagan?
He was already out of office.
What happened to him? Did he get in trouble?
Hell no.
What happened to Oliver North?
He got in trouble.
What happened to him?
Really?
What happened to him?
Who was the one that got? Well, he got something that happened to him, but nothing serious.
Yeah,
nothing
really.
Nothing serious. He was the one that he was the fall guy though. He was the one that
right.
And nothing happened to him. Nothing.
But let's get back to Maxine. I got
what I'm saying is, what did Gary Webb have to do with Maxine Waters? I mean, it was just like
he's saying that
it was a dog whistle. It was a dog whistle. You know what? But if she was really down for her people, like Malcolm, people that was really down for their people, she would have stuck in the game. And
stuck for
it. Hold on, wait, listen. So what you just said, I'm gonna try to be respectful as possible.
Yes, sir.
You saying what Malcolm did for black people. Show me.
I'm just using him for example, just as an example, not just him, not just him.
But since you're using it, show me the contrast. What did Malcolm do that is more than what she did?
What?
I mean, you brought him up. What did he do that you could say because Malcolm X did this? She didn't do that.
Malcolm woke up a whole lot of black folks.
Okay. And Maxine Waters fought for black folks, and she did what she could do in Congress.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
And she's been in office.
She did as much as she could.
Wait. Let's
Malcolm X did.
Y'all went off the rails.
Yeah, we did, but we brought it back. We brought it back because it's like we agree she did as much as she could.
She been in office for over 44 years. 40 years. What has she done? How many bills has she passed?
30, more like 30 years, bro. 30 years.
Well, yeah, okay. It's 91. Whatever that is, over 30 years. What has she done? How many bills has she got passed?
I don't know the
only 9 that
she
sponsored, 4 passed. Come on, bro. That's a bad record, my not.
How's that bad compared
9
to what?
Sponsored, 4 passed.
Give me an example. Who got a better record?
Dude, come on. We talking about the 43rd district. I didn't research the whole congressional force.
So you can't say that's a bad job then. What if that's the standard? What if that's above average?
All right, let's be continued at that. I'll come back with that later on another date to research that.
All right, let's get the nice guy comments up here. He says Malcolm is greater than Maxine. Okay. And then Malcolm woke up a generation of black people. Listen, Malcolm helped to wake up a generation of black people. You got to remember who he was working for.
Yes.
All right.
It's agreed.
Let's not put the student ahead of the teacher.
Like I said, we just use him for an example.
I'm talking to Mr. Nice Guy. Don't put the student before the teacher. He helped wake up a generation of black people. And before he got there, Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, already put in 30 plus years.
That's right. And the reason why the Honorable Elijah put him in that position is because he saw the potential in what he could do for his people. So
the Honorable Elijah Muhammad saw the potential in all of his soldiers.
He did, but he actually
put them all and Go ahead. Let me let you finish. Go ahead, finish.
No, he just put Malcolm in a certain position. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Like I said, he put all of his soldiers in certain positions, as a general does. He said, "You'll fit best right there. You'll be my spokesperson. And you'll, Mr. Louis Farrakhan, you'll be over Boston. You'll be here, Minister so and so. That's what generals do."
That's right. You're right.
Yeah. All right. So much respect to Maxine Waters. Jaywalk, I still feel you owe her an apology.
No, don't.
because you
That's the
disrespect.
bottom line, huh?
Yeah, and we can't disrespect our elders, especially when they doing the work. Just because it's not satisfying to you, you got to look at the overall picture. She doing the work. She ain't kowtowing and chasing behind white folks trying to be get their approval and get a pat on the head. That's
She'll
what
get that Wait, she'll get that apology when Meg the Stallion get that apology from you.
Meg the Stallion, I apologize to you. I was absolutely wrong on the whole situation.
What the hell you talking about? First of all,
hold on. Let me finish my apology, Mr. Nice Guy. I was absolutely wrong on the whole Tory and Meg thing. Him going to jail was not, and I repeat, it was not a loss for all black men. He got what he deserved. He earned that jail time. Now, you happy, Mr. Walk? Look at this motherfucker.
Hey, that was a good, hey, you know what? Hey, that was a good apology, man. That was
Okay,
good.
wait. I will apologize for calling Maxine Waters an old fart. It was disrespectful to one of our elders.
Yes.
But I feel she does need to step aside. Yep. Her time is up.
Okay.
I'm glad you didn't call her a dog head. Like Snoop did.
I
like
don't go
like
there.
Snoop did to old girl.
Snoop Dogg, funky dog head bitch. I would never do that. That's what Snoop Dogg said to his elders, which was inappropriate. It was funny, but inappropriate. What's up, Mr. Nice Guy?
Hey, what's happening? First of all, what's happening, my brothers? Love y'all. Good work. Great show. But bro, you see, Floyd got that nation bias about Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? It's just the reality is that you know Malcolm built up the nation. You know what I'm saying? Elijah had a great influence on him.
He did. You can't say that.
His influence expanded.
Come on, let niggas talk. You kind of being like big cuz tonight, man.
Listen.
Jump on there, Pooh. That's cool. This Focus Daily. So you
Malcolm
feel free to jump in.
Malcolm X made his contribution to the nation and to the black people as a whole. Nobody could take that away from him. But you can't say that he built the nation like he put it on his shoulder by himself.
I didn't say he didn't build the nation. First of all, he didn't create the structure. None of that. I'm saying he built up. I'm saying that he contributed. He was a person that brought a lot of attention and he was a factor, a significant factor. You know what I'm saying?
Now, go ahead.
But I'm just talking about as far as reaching the regular people. There's a lot of people that respect like what the nation did, what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did. I'm one of those people that'll say, look, I appreciate what the nation has been. I appreciate what Farrakhan has been. I appreciate what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, Malcolm touched black people in a way that they didn't. I'm saying that the black people receive Malcolm in a different way on a generality. Way more than
when you use the word, he touched them in a way that they didn't. Give me an example.
Because they understand that Elijah Muhammad was a religious person and had a religious philosophy. And the bottom line is that there's a difference between someone saying, hey, I respect what the nation did. And it's like, hey, there's a reason why I'm not a member of the nation because I don't believe that. But with Malcolm, a lot of dudes was like, you know what? I'm still feeling what he's talking about. When you talk about like Martin Luther King and all of this sort of like kumbaya and whatever and just defending yourself, the person who really put it out there and was a face on it that people relate to and tied that message to, it was Malcolm. I'm just telling you, Malcolm.
I gotta disagree. I disagree.
Go ahead, Walt.
I disagree wholly with that because what happened was he became popular because he was for the youth. A lot of the youth gravitated toward him, but he was not like building up the nation. The nation was behind him and supporting him, and then he got a little big-headed. He did get a little big-headed.
I'm not talking about the nation. I'm talking about people. I'm talking about, but I heard you're right. He got big-headed. He made a statement he shouldn't have made. He brought heat to the nation. There was some mistakes.
He was believing the hype train. Like that's just what happened. And so, but to say that he somehow was bigger. His name is it's the whole stigma of Malcolm X. That's what's living on today. Like a lot of people don't even know about him or his message. All they know is Malcolm X.
Nah, there's a lot of, you know what? And
That's
there's a
it.
lot of people that know about his message, just like a lot
Who
of people
talking
know
about
about
Malcolm
Mark.
or Elijah? You said they don't know about his message. Who,
With Malcolm.
they didn't know about Malcolm X's message.
Yeah. They it's just like the picture, the man, it's like a picture,
Okay.
Malcolm X with the
Yeah.
gun. That's it. And it looks cool.
Malcolm taught Elijah's message. He gave all the the glory and honor to the honorable Elijah Muhammad every time. He did.
Not every time.
But just even when he was
Not every time. You right.
Well, hey, enough.
But we have to remember, real quick, that he was a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And everything that he did in the Nation of Islam. He lived 1 year outside of the Nation of Islam. And what did he do in that 1 year outside the nation? Respectfully.
Okay, so you asked me that question, what he did. Again, now I'm going to tell you about his impact, because again, there's a lot of people that respect who the nation was, but they're not sitting there really championing Elijah Muhammad, message, because it's a religious message. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even though he's taught a lot of stuff that just impacted Black people, you don't have to be a member of the Nation of Islam to appreciate and respect, the fundamental things that they taught, as far as just Black people having accountability, Black people owning stuff, the just many positive things that you can tie to the Nation of Islam. But I'm just talking about as far as Black people, like the civil rights movement and stuff like that. This dude's face, you're talking about his face. It's not just his face. It's his face and his message. I'm just telling you that people identified more with Malcolm, what Malcolm was saying outside of the context of the Nation of Islam. It wasn't about this religious thing.
How do you separate what he taught from the Nation of Islam?
Because
what do you separate it? What did he teach outside the nation that people gravitated to? Everything they gravitated to was what he learned in the Nation of Islam.
Not again. Despite where he learned what he learned, he actually his you understand it? No, because I'm telling you, just you can learn something from anything. But the fact of the matter is, his message was not one. His message after he left the nation wasn't about nation, huh? 1 year. Hey, dude, Pac had 1 year. Pac did a lot in 1 year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this dude was around, but I'm telling you, this dude, from the time that he touched down from jail to the time that he died, this dude had a massive impact on the world. So, I mean, you can talk about 1 year.
To the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam.
Trust, yes, absolutely. If it wasn't for the Nation of Islam, he'd be Malcolm Little instead of Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? So again,
hoes and selling dope.
And the fact of the matter was, this teacher, I'm just telling you, this teacher touched the people outside of the nation. It's like Martin Luther King. You got Martin Luther King and Malcolm X are sort of like the face of the civil rights movement, of a lot of these things. And the fact of the matter is, these people come from really diverse positions.
Let me tell you where you're going wrong. You are accepting and running with what white people put out there. When you say Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was the face of the civil rights movement or all that, that's what white people put out there. But those who was in the fight, they know what it was and what it is. They know it's deeper than that. Those are the ones, after they killed them, they made them your heroes.
Right.
And remember, just recently, New York City has been, admitted that they helped kill Malcolm X, and they paid out so much money, and they about to get lawsuits.
You think white people made Malcolm our hero?
Yeah.
After his death.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
The Malcolm X movie,
black about Black people type stuff. Nothing what he's saying is even slightly apologetic or bowing.
Who you talking about?
Go ahead. What you say?
Wait. Remember, they had J. Edgar Hoover. He had Malcolm X as public enemy number one. By 1999, Malcolm X was on a damn U.S. stamp.
Yeah, you know why? When did that movie come out? When did X come out?
The movie that wouldn't have came out with the approval of white folks.
Of course not. Exactly. That's my whole point. What Malcolm was about was nothing about. Was nothing about.
They said, okay, it's okay now.
Was nothing about bowing down to the white person.
It's okay. He's dead and gone. It's okay to make let their heroes, all their heroes gonna be dead heroes.
Right.
That's what they do.
You can
All
have
their heroes
impact,
gonna be
you
dead
can have
heroes.
Impact live or dead. Elijah
I
Muhammad is
promise you,
dead. Elijah Muhammad is dead, and you still trying to give respect to him, right?
yeah.
Because he
Because I
again,
know
his
better.
impact is real.
I'm not the general masses that just follow what white folks say.
His impact is real today,
Yeah.
notwithstanding the fact that he is no longer amongst us in the flesh.
Yeah, because
So my
those
point
within
is,
the
again,
nation keep his name and his program alive and running.
Right.
And my
that's
point
something.
is that go ahead.
That's
Mark.
something that Ice-T said when he met the minister Louis Farrakhan. He said, "Why are you always quoting the Elijah Muhammad?" He said, "Because I learned these words from him. Those are his words. What I'm saying."
Yep.
Oh, he learned these things, but hey, he learned these things. But a lot of stuff you got to understand. No, don't nobody owns truth.
No, listen. Let me say this. Malcolm X was the moon. And what the moon does is reflect the sun. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the sun. He was a reflection of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So whatever you got from the moon, it came from the sun.
Malcolm also had his own light. So, this is not a good analogy. I understand what you're saying. He put it this way.
Yeah,
Elijah Muhammad was way more important to Malcolm than Malcolm was to Elijah Muhammad.
Give me a teaching of Malcolm X that didn't come from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Ooh.
Whoa. What about Fard? What about Fard? W.D. Fard.
Wallace D. Fard. What about him?
Did he not teach Elijah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's supposed to be Allah, in the flesh. So yes, in the flesh. So yeah, he was basically again. You talking about what he taught him? First of all, he had a lot of once he separated. Malcolm had a lot of particular teachings that didn't line up with the Nation of Islam.
Give me one of the teachings that you follow or you adhere to that he didn't get from the Nation of Islam.
That that the Nation of Islam is really not like for real, that that it's some fabricated stuff that was
who taught that?
It's not even 200 years old, huh?
Who taught that? Malcolm X taught that?
Hey, well, I'm just telling you, he taught about a bunch of teachings about where the stuff came from.
You're dancing. I asked you one simple question.
I gave you a simple answer.
Listen, I said, give me one thing that Malcolm X teaches that you adhere to that he did not get from the Nation of Islam or
that the version of Islam that the Nation of Islam preaches is not the Islam that existed way before then. I'm just saying it's a derivative of Islam. It calls itself Islam, but it was there was a whole bunch of stuff. You talk about the wheel and all these things that they taught. He talked about the things. He goes, you know what? I don't believe that stuff no more. So that's an example.
You live by?
Huh?
Is that something you live by and you can use?
Oh, I do. I live by the fact that even though I respect the Nation of Islam, I don't believe in what they believe in. So that's why I'm not a member of the Nation of Islam. So I actually do live by the fact that I don't believe in the will. I don't believe in Yaqub. I don't believe
you attribute that to your life from what Malcolm X taught? Maybe you're not understanding me, but it's easy to say that what he said, but something that he taught that helps and puts black people on a conscious level. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say or not.
What he taught was that black people, despite all this religious stuff, we need to work on our commonalities. You know what I'm saying? When he was a member of the Nation of Islam, he was of the position that that's going to be the black person's salvation. Once he came out of that, he realized, he said that, look, it's not going to be that the religion that's going to get us together. We all need to basically come together outside of religion and focus on our mutual interests and mutual concerns and address that stuff. We can basically have our religion. We can have how we're going to feel what we feel, but we need to work together on our common issues. When you say
work together, what you saying? Work with white folks?
Black folks. Black folks who have different religious positions.
Oh, so that sounds like the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
I don't know if that was the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
It is. Except our own. We separation.
No. I understand that. No, those are fundamental things, but I'm talking about outside of the nation, outside of those beliefs.
What's outside? Jay Walk asked the question. He said, "Are you talking about white people?" You said no. So you go right back into black folks. What the nation teaches?
What's outside of white people? What's outside of white people? Who Mr. Fard is?
Who?
Farad.
Who is
Farad.
he? Who is he?
Talking about Farad Muhammad.
Yeah.
The Nation of
Who is he
Islam.
in the Nation of Islam?
The Nation of Islam teaches that's the God in person.
Okay, so I'm just telling you, I don't believe that.
Okay, that's fine. But
So people that don't believe that and people refuse to accept that, we still should be working with them that look like us, and that we can still have some common interest amongst those people. I don't need people to have the same religion that I have to still basically work with you. You know, when we have the same common interests and stuff like that. For like you, for example, you're an atheist, but notwithstanding that you're an atheist, you're an intelligent person, and we should have shared interests and concerns, and we can still function and work together. So it's not a religion, it's not an issue of your what you would call anti-religious beliefs and my religious beliefs.
yeah, but I'm thankful for the teachings that I got from the Nation of Islam. I can't say I thank God.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful to
Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I thank Master Fard Muhammad for the teachings that I got with the Nation of Islam. But we're gonna end the show here. We went over time, 15 more minutes. You know, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Friday Night Live. So join us tomorrow. Join us this Saturday for the Focus Up show. Where's my list of our topics? I wanted to point out these topics that we got. Where the hell is my paper? Okay, here we go. We got them up here. We're gonna be speaking on 5 people were cured from stem cell. 5 people were cured of AIDS from stem cell. Right?
Stem cell transplant.
Stem cell transplant. That's going to be a topic on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Watch the show. Tune in. You know, Mr. Walk, he always does his research. He's going to be ready to drop it and put it down. And then
salute to the research man.
That's right. And what's the other topic we got? Let me pull these topics up. Y'all know the other topic?
Yeah, how old is too old to have a fist fight?
That's right.
What's really behind the Russian-Ukraine war?
That's right. So we're going to do deep dive and get into the facts of this situation and not just what's being reported on the news. You know, it was something that Mr. Nice Guy shared with us today about that the general. I don't even know. I had no clue or know what that was, and I was reading like I had to read it like 2 times. But you know, we'll bring that up this Saturday. So you know, we got a lot of information for you. Y'all want to learn? Y'all want to chime in and give your opinion or give facts that you know or have that we may not have? Tune in Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We out.
Hey, wait. I got one thing else to say.
Real quick.
Hey, I really appreciate the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, Farad, Farrakhan. Their impact on Black people has just been exceptional and praiseworthy. And, you know, let's never be confused about the fact that even though I don't subscribe to this religion, I appreciate the effort and the impact, and it's been legitimate, objective, and for real.
Got you.
Hey, TS, Snoop called. He said he wanted his background back.